Are you throwing away hundreds of dollars every summer on plants that die? Here's the shocking truth. Most gardeners waste over $300 annually on flowers that barely last 6 weeks. But what if I showed you 25 incredible perennials that bloom all summer, come back stronger every year, and cost less than a single trip to the garden center? Welcome to Garden Homes. I'm your host, and today we're breaking the expensive annual addiction. If you're ready to save money while creating the most stunning garden on your block, don't forget to click the subscribe button now. Let me guess, you spent your spring weekends carefully planting a gorgeous garden, choosing the perfect colors, arranging everything just so. By May, your yard was the talk of the neighborhood. But then July hit, didn't it? Those beautiful impatiens started looking scraggly. The petunias got leggy and stopped blooming. Your marigolds, don't even get me started. Probably brown and crispy by August. You're standing there with a garden hose, staring at what looks more like a plant graveyard than the paradise you envisioned. The frustration is real, and if this sounds familiar, you're not alone. 73% of gardeners face this exact same problem every single summer. But here's what changed everything for me, and it's going to revolutionize your entire approach to summer gardening. 3 years ago, I was exactly where you are now. Frustrated, spending a fortune every season, and watching my garden dreams wither in the summer heat. That's when I discovered the secret that professional landscapers have been using for decades: the power of strategic perennial planting. These 25 perennials I'm about to count down will give you continuous stunning color from May all the way through September. We're talking about plants that actually get more beautiful as the season progresses, not less. This incredible transformation went from boring and expensive to absolutely spectacular, and the owner hasn't replanted a single flower in 2 years. Today, you're getting my complete countdown from 25 down to my number 1 secret weapon. But here's what you absolutely cannot miss. Number 18 will shock you with its drought tolerance. Number 12 will literally attract hummingbirds to your yard daily. And when you see what takes the number 5 spot, you'll understand why professional landscapers guard this secret so closely. And number 1. It's the plant that nurseries don't want you to know about because it's so reliable they'll lose money on repeat sales. But here's the urgency factor. We're in the perfect planting window right now. Miss this window, and you'll wait another entire year for these results. Don't you dare skip ahead because I'm revealing critical care secrets for each plant that will determine whether you get spectacular blooms or disappointing failures. Ready to discover which perennial claims the ultimate number 1 spot and transforms your garden into a summer paradise that actually saves you money? Let's count down the top 25. Let's start our countdown with 5 reliable perennials that every gardener should know. These might not be the flashiest plants on our list, but they're the workhorses that form the foundation of spectacular summer gardens. Nakawandwik 25, Ajuga, bugleweed. This ground cover might be small, but it's mighty. Ajuga produces spikes of blue, purple, or white flowers above colorful foliage that can range from green to bronze to nearly black. It spreads to form a living carpet that suppresses weeds while providing spring color. Perfect for difficult slopes or areas where grass won't grow, Ajuga handles shade better than most flowering perennials. Nakawandwik 24, Japanese painted fern. This is hands down the most elegant foliage plant for shade. The silvery fronds with purple veins and green edges create a sophisticated backdrop for flowering plants while requiring virtually no maintenance. Unlike most ferns, these tolerate some drought once established and provide stunning contrast in woodland gardens. Nakawandwik 23, lamb's ear. While not grown primarily for its flowers, lamb's ear's silvery velvety foliage creates the most beautiful textural contrast in any garden. The soft, touchable leaves provide a perfect backdrop for brightly colored flowers, while reflecting light to brighten shady corners. When it does bloom, the purple flower spikes attract bees and add vertical interest. Nakawandwik 22, hardy geranium. Not to be confused with annual geraniums, these tough perennials produce masses of 5-petaled flowers in blues, purples, pinks, and whites. Hardy geraniums handle heat, drought, and even poor soil while providing months of color. Varieties like Roseanne bloom from June until frost and spread naturally to fill spaces. Nakawandwik 21, these bring old-world charm with intensely fragrant flowers in shades of pink, white, and red. The blue-green foliage is attractive year-round, and the flowers have that spicy sweet fragrance that makes you want to bury your nose in them. Modern varieties bloom repeatedly throughout the season rather than just once in spring. If you're already getting excited about these possibilities, hit that like button. But here's what most gardeners don't know about why these foundation plants are so successful while others fail miserably. It all comes down to understanding bloom cycles and what triggers a plant to keep producing flowers. Most perennials have a biological imperative to set seed and then shut down for the season. But when you deadhead, removing spent flowers before they go to seed, you're essentially tricking the plant into thinking it hasn't completed its reproductive cycle. This triggers it to produce more flowers in a desperate attempt to create seeds. It's brilliant, and it's the scientific foundation behind continuous blooming. Here's a professional secret that will double your bloom time: staggered planting. Instead of planting all your perennials at once, plant a third in early spring, another third 4 weeks later, and the final third another 4 weeks after that. This creates overlapping bloom cycles that extend your color season by months. The number one reason perennials fail to rebloom is improper cutting technique. When you deadhead, cut back to just above the next set of leaves or buds. Never just snip off the flower head. This encourages bushy growth and more flower production. Many gardeners make the mistake of cutting too high, leaving ugly stems that actually inhibit new growth. Moving up our countdown, we're entering the territory of perennials that provide serious visual impact while maintaining that reliability factor that makes them favorites among both beginners and professional landscapers. 2 Astilbe. Your shade garden savior produces feathery plumes of flowers in white, pink, red, and purple. These bring color to areas where most perennials struggle, preferring consistently moist soil and dappled shade. They're perfect for those challenging spots under trees or on the north side of your house where other flowers refuse to thrive. They're incredibly low maintenance and work beautifully in both formal and cottage garden settings, creating those vertical elements that professional designers use to add structure. L18. Blanket flower, Gaillardia. This brings southwestern flair with daisy-like flowers in fiery combinations of red, yellow, and orange. These tough-as-nails perennials actually prefer poor soil and handle drought better than almost any other flowering perennial. They bloom from early summer until hard frost and self-seed readily, giving you free plants. Nux 17. Heuchera, coral bells. This brings year-round interest with colorful foliage in shades from lime green to deep burgundy, plus delicate flower spikes in summer. Modern varieties like Fire Chief and Obsidian have revolutionized shade gardening. The leaves provide constant color even when not blooming, making them incredibly valuable for garden structure. Nux 16. Yarrow. Achillea produces flat-topped flower clusters in an incredible range of colors from soft pastels to vibrant hot tones. Modern varieties bloom for months with minimal care. Yarrow is virtually indestructible, handling heat, drought, and poor soil while attracting beneficial insects that help control garden pests naturally. Nux 15. Catmint. Nepeta. Don't let the name fool you. This isn't just for cats. The silvery green foliage topped with clouds of lavender blue flowers creates the most romantic cottage garden look imaginable. Cut it back after the first flush of blooms, and it'll reward you with a second wave even more spectacular than the first. Nux 14. Shasta Daisy. Your classic white workhorse that creates stunning contrast against darker flowers. Modern varieties produce enormous 4-inch blooms that create drama in any garden setting. They bloom repeatedly throughout the season if you keep them deadheaded, and their crisp white petals never look dated or out of style. Now here's where most gardeners go wrong, and it's costing them spectacular blooms. Are you watering your perennials every day? Stop immediately. Deep, infrequent watering creates strong root systems that can handle heat and drought. Shallow, frequent watering creates weak plants that struggle the moment you skip a day. Professional landscapers use the 1-inch rule. Water deeply once or twice per week to provide about an inch of water total. This encourages roots to grow deep rather than staying shallow. Use a rain gauge or empty tuna can to measure how much water you're applying. The fertilizer mistake that kills more blooms than any other? Over-fertilizing with nitrogen. High nitrogen fertilizers create lush green foliage at the expense of flowers. Perennials need balanced nutrition with equal parts nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Feed them once in early spring with a balanced slow-release fertilizer, and they'll reward you with abundant blooms. This garden transformation throughout the season happens because these perennials are planted in complementary groups that create color combinations no annual garden can match. The key is understanding bloom times and planting early, mid, and late season bloomers together for continuous interest. Drop a comment and tell me which of these you're most excited to try. We're getting into the plants that separate amateur gardens from professional-looking landscapes. These hidden gems are the secret weapons that experienced gardeners use to create gardens that look expensive and sophisticated. 13. Sedum varieties. Your drought-busting superstars range from ground cover types like Dragon's Blood with its red-tinged succulent foliage, to upright varieties like Autumn Joy with massive flower heads that attract butterflies. Sedums handle neglect better than almost any other perennial, actually preferring poor soil and minimal water. Garden Phlox brings the fragrance factor that's missing from many modern gardens. These tall spikes of clustered flowers come in incredible colors from pure white to deep purple, with many featuring contrasting eyes. The key with phlox is air circulation. Plant them where they'll get good airflow to prevent powdery mildew. Shut 11. Bee Balm, Monarda. Your hummingbird magnet produces unique tubular flowers in shades of red, pink, purple, and white. This creates a feeding station that hummingbirds will visit dozens of times per day. Modern varieties are much more resistant to powdery mildew than older types, and the aromatic foliage adds another sensory layer. 10. Butterfly weed, Asclepias. Your monarch butterfly magnet produces brilliant orange flowers that are essential for monarch reproduction and migration. Beyond their environmental importance, They're stunning garden plants that bloom for months in the hottest weather. They prefer sandy, well-drained soil, and actually perform better with neglect. 10.9. Russian sage creates an ethereal cloud of tiny purple flowers above silvery aromatic foliage. This drought-tolerant perennial can reach 4 to 5 feet tall and provides that soft texture that professional designers use to create movement in the garden. It blooms from midsummer through fall and requires virtually no maintenance once established. Wet 8. Lavender brings Mediterranean elegance with its silvery foliage and intensely fragrant flower spikes. Modern varieties like Phenomenal are incredibly hardy and bloom repeatedly throughout the season when properly pruned. The key is cutting back by 1/3 after each flush of blooms to trigger new growth and more flowers. Wet 7. Daylilies. These might seem common, but they're game changers when you understand how to use them properly. With thousands of varieties blooming at different times, you can create a succession that provides color from June through September. Each flower lasts just 1 day, but established clumps produce dozens of buds. Here's where it gets really interesting, and this is information that landscape designers charge thousands of dollars to share. The difference between a garden that looks planted and one that looks designed comes down to understanding layers and succession planting. Professional gardens use a 3-layer approach: tall background plants, mid-height focal points, and low ground covers. This creates depth and visual interest that changes as you move through the space. Your tall perennials form the backdrop, mid-height plants create focal points, and low spreaders knit everything together. Color coordination is where most DIY gardens fail. Instead of planting one of everything, professionals use a restricted palette with plants that bloom in complementary colors. Try the rule of 3. Choose 3 colors maximum for any garden area. Purple, yellow, and white create a classic combination that never looks chaotic. Seasonal succession planting ensures color from spring through fall. Early bloomers provide spring interest, mid-season powerhouses dominate summer, and late-season stars carry you through fall. When planned properly, something is always in peak bloom. The professional secret that transforms ordinary gardens into magazine-worthy landscapes? Repetition with variation. Plant the same perennials in groups of 3 or 5 throughout the garden, but vary their companions. This creates unity while preventing monotony. You'll see the same plants repeated, but each grouping will have different companions. We've reached the elite territory, the plants that separate good gardens from truly spectacular ones that people stop their cars to admire. These top 6 are the absolute game changers. Number 6. Coreopsis, tickseed. These cheerful daisy-like flowers in shades of yellow, pink, and bicolors bloom from early summer until frost. The secret to Coreopsis is deadheading. Remove spent flowers regularly, and you'll have continuous blooms. They're incredibly drought-tolerant and attract beneficial insects that help your entire garden thrive. Number 5. Salvia. Here's why thousands of professional landscapers swear by it. It never stops blooming. Whether you choose the deep blue varieties or vibrant red options, salvia produces spikes of flowers continuously from late spring until hard frost. Hummingbirds go crazy for these, and they're one of the few perennials that actually prefer hot weather. Number 4. Black-eyed Susan, Rudbeckia. If you want foolproof, this is it. These golden beauties with their dark chocolate centers are virtually indestructible and spread naturally to fill gaps in your garden. The classic variety Goldsturm blooms for an incredible 8 to 10 weeks straight, handling heat, drought, and even poor soil with grace. Dunlophy Mistruckle flower, Echinacea. This native beauty produces those classic daisy-like flowers with prominent centers that butterflies absolutely cannot resist. The purple varieties are stunning, but don't overlook newer cultivars in coral, orange, and white. Echinacea is extraordinary for its drought tolerance and ability to self-seed, giving you free plants every year. Junjalede 2. Catmint Walker's Low. This deserves special recognition as the ultimate low-maintenance perennial. The aromatic, gray-green foliage topped with spikes of lavender flowers creates that romantic cottage garden look that never goes out of style. Cut it back after blooming, and you'll get a fresh flush of growth and flowers. Deer and rabbits hate it, but bees and butterflies love it. Are you ready for this? The plant that changed everything for my garden design business and could revolutionize yours takes our number 1 spot. 1. Salvia May Night and Color Spires series. This is the ultimate secret weapon that has transformed gardens across the country. While most perennials have distinct bloom periods, these salvias bloom continuously from late spring until hard frost. We're talking about 6 solid months of color from a single plant. The deep purple-blue spikes create vertical drama, while the compact growth habit means they work in small spaces or large landscapes equally well. Here's why nurseries don't promote them heavily. They're so reliable and long-lived that customers don't need to replace them every few years. A single salvia plant will thrive for 5 to 7 years, getting larger and more spectacular each season. That's not great for annual sales, but it's fantastic for your garden budget. You'll find these varieties at specialty nurseries or online suppliers rather than big box stores. Plant them in full sun with good drainage, and they'll outperform any annual you've ever grown. The care secret that guarantees maximum performance? Cut them back by half in midsummer after the first major flush of blooms. This seems scary, but within 3 weeks you'll have fresh growth and even more flower spikes than before. This technique works with many perennials, but is absolutely transformative with salvias. Professional landscapers use these as anchor plants, positioning them throughout the garden to create rhythm and continuity. Their consistent performance and long bloom time make them invaluable for creating that professionally designed look. Let's recap the absolute must-haves from today's countdown. If you plant nothing else, these top 5 will transform your summer garden. Salvia May Night for continuous blooms, purple coneflower for reliability and butterfly appeal, black-eyed Susan for foolproof color, salvia varieties for hummingbird appeal, and coreopsis for drought tolerance. The transformation is incredible when using just these top varieties, and the return on investment is undeniable. Instead of spending $300 annually on plants that die, you'll invest maybe $75 once and enjoy spectacular results for years. Each of these plants will multiply naturally, giving you dozens of free plants to expand your garden or share with friends. I'm issuing you a challenge right now. I challenge you to visit your local nursery this weekend and plant at least 3 varieties from our top 10. Choose one from the top 5, one color powerhouse from our middle ranks, and one foundation plant from our reliable performers. Start small, but start now. You have a critical window to get these in the ground for spectacular summer blooms. Plant now, and by Memorial Day you'll have a garden that's the envy of your entire neighborhood. Wait until next spring and you've lost an entire growing season. Here's my guarantee. Do this, follow the care instructions I've shared, and your summer garden will be more spectacular than anything you've achieved with annuals. You'll save hundreds of dollars while creating a landscape that gets more beautiful every year instead of deteriorating as the season progresses. If this video is saving you hundreds of dollars and years of frustration, show your appreciation by hitting that subscribe button and ringing the bell notification. We upload new garden transformation content every single day here at Garden Homes, and tomorrow I'm showing you exactly how to design a perennial border that looks professionally installed. Hit that bell so you never miss our daily garden transformations, because next we're covering perennial garden design secrets that landscape architects charge thousands to share. Which of these 25 perennials are you planting first? Tell me in the comments below. I read every single comment and love hearing about your garden successes. Share photos of your perennial gardens using Garden Homes Perennials, and I might feature your transformation in an upcoming video. Don't let another summer pass with a boring, expensive garden that disappoints you by July. These perennials will change everything: your garden, your budget, and your entire relationship with gardening. Until tomorrow, keep growing those garden dreams, and remember, the best time to plant a perennial was last year, but the second best time is right now.